Hello. So many of you know I'm going to be competing in a shotgun and handgun competition, and I don't know really how to use a shotgun. So our friend Damian, who actually goes to Fairfax Rod and Gun Club, invited us out to practice the shotgun that we're borrowing. So this video, we're going to do a little bit of shooting with the Beretta 1301. We didn't do a ton of practice with it, mostly just the loading, reloading, push-pull technique. A big part of it was just feeling the recoil on it. Because I have decided to use that for the competition instead of a 20 gauge. I don't know why, but I did. So some of the clips are gonna show just me trying to figure out the push-pull technique because it feels almost counterintuitive.
Like you should feel the pressure there,
Okay.
but you want it balanced such that you're not feeling a lot of pressure in the shoulder. The push and the pull are pretty much balanced. It takes practice to get familiar with.
And then if you're familiar with the 1301, the way it loads is you like flip the gun over and underneath there's this loading ramp type thing. And so you can basically load one in the chamber and then just put a shit ton in the magazine. But if you depress the loading ramp, you like activate it funny, it basically prevents you from putting more rounds into the tube. So I struggled with that several times. My goal was to fill the full tube to capacity, but I think every time I tried, I would like not push the shell all the way in. And in doing so, when I moved my thumb, I would push like the feed lever back into a position that prevented more shells to go in. So that was interesting. That is something I'm gonna have to practice with snap caps prior to the competition so I don't fuck it up.
Like push it past the click a little bit so that you know it's there when you're rushing in a scenario or nervous.
Okay.
If that happens when you're...
One thing that I did do to kind of combat that issue or to just kind of move past it is there is a clip of me where I will I load a few rounds, get the lever stuck, and then I shoot around and I immediately flip it over, load around, shoot around, flip it over, load around. That was at least so I know what it feels like to like shoot around and then have to load, because there will be stages in the competition that require reload during the stage. So everything we did with the shotguns was at this thing called like a scatter board, one of the two. Basically just shows you the pattern of the ammunition you're shooting. Because it was used, obviously, right? There are already small holes in it from the birdshot and buckshot and various ammunition that was shot at it. So it was hard for me to see like the pattern of the shells that I was using. But I think I was hitting. I mean, I was hitting the board. I just don't know what it looks like. So at least I have an idea of what it would feel like to use the 1301. Again, I did post a picture on my community tab or my post tab, I don't know what it's called, showing the damage, and I'll post one here that shows just how much impact I was facing. And I think what happened was I was so focused on the push-pull technique that I was push-pulling okay, but I still wasn't like, I was here instead of like bracing it into my shoulder and push-pulling. And so the tension in the hands was right, but then it was just kicking back into my shoulder. So the way the gun club is set up, it's an outdoor range, and there is, when you enter, there's a bunch of shotgun games and then the splatterboard. And then you drive down the hill and you have an archery area, you have stocked fishing ponds, and then several outdoor ranges. We went to a plate rack. So the first thing we did at the plate rack was Damian took out his Glock 34. It was also my first time shooting a handgun in over a month. So starting with Damian's 34, it was like two-handed, great. We did right-handed, so everyone was right-handed, our dominant hand, great, and then our left hand, our non-dominant hand, not recessive in the term, non-dominant. And so I did okay with my right hand. I was actually surprised. It took me a second to knock the rust off with the handgun in general, just because it had been a while. But after seeing both Dan and Damian hit every plate with no errors with their left hand, I was like, well, I have to do it, obviously. And so you'll see in this clip, for a moment I thought that I might be actually a left-handed shooter.
Am I a lefty?
But once we went through that, I actually took out, and I went through a few iterations just because, again, it's been over a month since I shot, and I'm going to be shooting the shotgun handgun comp in 2 weeks, and then also a handgun comp in July. So did that, felt really good actually. I was a little bit worried that it had been so long that I wouldn't do very well, but the skills did not perish as much as I thought, and I did well. After we finished shooting our Glocks, Damian pulled out his Cowboy gun. It was the Winchester 1873. I wasn't sure what to expect. I think my brain said, oh, this is another long gun, therefore it's gonna hurt. It didn't. It had virtually no recoil. It was like shooting a Plinker 22. Like, it was nothing. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Let's put it on this side. Fuck it. I don't know what I'm doing. Camera stuff. The one thing I didn't anticipate was the front load heaviness. Gotta rest my arms for a sec.
So you can tuck your fingers through here,
Okay.
like through the opening. There you go.
Got it.
Yep. And it's a brass bead.
Oh, I don't even. Okay.
Yep.
Could I do one of these?
Sure. There you go.
Ah. Okay. But then, of course, Dan and Damian come up and they grab it fine. So me being the person that I am, did it again, went through a couple more iterations of holding it standing up, and it was still heavy, but I did it.
Bottom. There you go.
I did do it, yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. I like it because it's a big gun, but it doesn't feel like a big gun.
Right.
I like that. Weirdly, one of my favorite things about the day was after every time you shot every plate down, there was this bar behind the plates connected to a rope that was like tied off or connected to the table. So every time you shot the plates down, you had to yank this rope that would pull this bar that would push the plates back up. The problem is the plate rack we were using, I don't know if it was like just really used or not used very much or what, but you would pull the bar up, and instead of the bar coming back down immediately and leaving the plates, it had a tendency to stay. So you'd have to like finagle it, hit it just perfectly. Too strong.
Oh my God. I have faith. I have faith.
Yeah!
Hey, there you go.
Oh yeah. So at the end, I asked Dan to take a vertical of me with the Winchester because I remembered that YouTube Shorts existed finally for once. And at the end, he's telling me, maybe you should do it again so it looks like I shot every one consecutively.
To get all the shots.
Oh, to make it look better?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I never go onto YouTube and say I'm good at this. I just say
All right, that's
I'm
fair.
dicking around.
Like I say in the video, I don't come here to say I'm an expert or I'm a good shot. I come here to dick around and show you cool things and say, hey, guns are fun, I guess. You should try shooting them if you're interested. And anyone can shoot a gun. You should try it. So all in all, a very informative day, very interesting. Really good to put hands on the Beretta, fuck with it a little bit, see how much pain I'm gonna be in. Really fun to shoot the Glock outside. First time I've shot steel with the Glock, and cool to shoot a new gun. Super fun. So as mentioned before, the shotgun handgun competition is in 2 weeks, and I have conned my husband Dan and my friend Eddie to do it with me, and we are all very ill prepared. So that will be a fun video coming out around then. And then the three of us are also running a handgun competition with the Korean American Practical Shooting Association, CAPSA, in July. So that will be fun as well. Between time, hopefully we'll go out and shoot some more stuff. To be honest, again, still have not shot the Maverick 88 that I bought. And so should probably try it at least before I make a decision on it, or maybe just leave it in my gun safe forever to perish and I can ignore it indefinitely. So yeah, that was our day at Fairfax Run Gun. It was super cool, very fun, except for the time that we found a tick on Dan's face somehow. But other than that, ton of fun. And definitely thank you everyone for your support. And also, if you want some stickers, if you go to 2a4a.com, it's F-O-R-A, not numeral 4. Don't go to the numeral. It's adult content. Stickers are available there. And if you want me to create other stickers with other ideas, let me know. I'm not a graphic designer, but I'm pretty okay at making stuff. All right, thanks. Bye.